Black Ops 2 has released on the PlayStations. There's no new content, there's no new features, the graphics have barely changed, they've removed features, it's slow, it's clunky, it's overpriced, they've completely ruined Black Ops 2. What is up everyone, it is Subject4 Gaming here, and ever since Black Ops 2 has finally made its way to modern PlayStation consoles, I've seen and heard the same criticisms over and over again. And I wanted to go through those arguments one by one because while I understand where people are coming from, I don't think they are looking at this release in the right way. This isn't a remaster. The biggest thing people seem to forget, this is a port, not a remaster. There's a huge difference between the two. A remaster is rebuilt or updated to take advantage of modern hardware. You expect improved graphics, quality of life features, maybe restored content, new modes, or additional content. A port is simply about making an older game playable on newer hardware. That's exactly what this release is. Black Ops 2 is now around 14 years old. If Activision had plans to remaster it, they probably wouldn't also release a straightforward port, because the remaster would make the port largely unnecessary. So expecting a remaster level improvements from what's clearly a port is setting yourself up for disappointment. There's no new content is probably the most common criticism, but honestly, why would there be? Again, it's a port. Its purpose is to preserve the original game and make it accessible to people who couldn't play it previously on the modern hardware. Adding maps, weapons, or entirely new features isn't what the port is designed to do. If you bought it expecting brand new content, you're expecting something the developers never advertised. Removed features is another criticism I've heard about Black Ops 2 recently. Obviously nobody wants a version of a game that is missing content from the original, but it's also important not to exaggerate. Some people are acting like they've completely ruined the game, when for most players the core Black Ops 2 experience is still there if you're buying to play zombies, multiplayer, or the campaign. That's what you're getting. The game being slow and clunky is another point that gets blown way out of proportion. Black Ops 2 is an older game. Some of what people describe as clunky is simply how the games from that era felt. Gaming has changed a lot in the last decade. Movement systems are smoother, menus are faster, loadings are quicker, controls have evolved. Going back to a 2012 game is naturally going to feel different, because again, you haven't played that sort of movement in quite a while. That doesn't necessarily mean the port it's bad itself. Now let's talk about the pricing. This is where I think context matters the most. I've seen people saying the PlayStation version shouldn't cost anywhere near full price. But here's something a lot of people seemingly ignore, especially with the people who play on PlayStation. Xbox players have been able to buy Black Ops 2 digitally on newer Xbox consoles since 2016 through backwards compatibility. And for years it's remained close to the full price unless it goes on sale. So why is the exact same pricing suddenly unacceptable when PlayStation players finally get access? Personally, I think it doesn't matter. Obviously, I don't agree with how PlayStation are dealing with things going forwards, but if Xbox have had the same price, then we have, in a sense, no right to complain, since they've had the game longer. But Activision has kept older Call of Duties expensive for years across multiple platforms. That's nothing new. It's a pricing strategy people criticize for a long time, and it isn't something unique to PlayStation releases. For PlayStation players, this has actually been the first time they've been able to play Black Ops 2 on modern hardware without digging out a PS3. That's a positive start to being able to play old games on the PlayStation, especially when it comes to Call of Duty. Not everyone owns old consoles, not everyone wants to reconnect with old hardware, especially with how the servers were on the PS3 with them being modded, for example. Some people no longer have discs, or the discs don't work. Others never played Black Ops 2 in the first place, so this gives a chance for those people to play them. Simply having this game available for PlayStation 4 and 5 players is a good thing. A criticism I'd like to point, well, not really a criticism, it's mainly because I am unsure if this is true. In Zombies, Richtofen's voice for double points for the Hellhound rounds and things like that, according to my friend, doesn't sound like the original. So I will put some clips from the port of that, and I will also put the original sound, what they used to sound like in the original, and you guys let me know if there is a difference or if it's just all because everyone's complaining about the port.
Double points! Carpenter! Fetch me their swords! Double points! Carpenter! Fetch me their swords!
But do I think the port is perfect? No. But I also think people are judging this release as it was marked as a remastered. It really wasn't. It was just a port. If you judge it based on what a port actually is supposed to do, bring an older game onto newer hardware, it succeeds. My bad. Could the pricing be lower? Of course, no one likes to pay quite a lot to play a game, but compared to other CODs that are on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store, I don't know what it's called over there, they are all relatively priced the same unless they go on to a sale. Could there be more improvements? Of course. But again, I'm not holding this biased because, again, it's a port. I don't mind if there isn't more improvements added. I know they have recently updated the game, so obviously they are keeping an eye on the game, and we could always see future updates. But saying they've ruined Black Ops 2 or that the release is completely pointless ignores what this version actually was trying to achieve. At the end of the day, PlayStation players finally have a way to experience the greatest Call of Duty game of all time on newer gen consoles. And I say greatest COD of all time, that's my personal opinion, say what you want. Maybe it's not the version everyone dreamed of, obviously everyone wanted a remaster, but for a lot of people that's still a win. And to me it's still a win. I obviously wanted to make this video to explain what this Black Ops 2 port is. I've just been seeing all this criticism about the game. We got the game that everyone wanted back onto PlayStation, and the only features removed from it is League Play, and I'm assuming Black Ops 1 has data mode removed. And I think Black Ops 2 had data mode, but then being removed, data mode makes sense. It was used to exploit the game, and League Play, from what I have been told, again, I'll leave this to you. From what I've been told, barely anyone played League Play, and League Play wasn't really that interesting, I would say. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this rant about Black Ops 2 with also some very terrible Black Ops 2 gameplay, it has been a while since I have played this game, but I'm glad to have it back. And yeah, I want to see what your guys' thoughts on this Black Ops 2 port is, and what else would you like to see. And obviously I will be covering other games if I can. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.